Hello everybody, thank you for tuning in to another cup of tech. Today, so much to talk about, but before we do, I want to talk about last week's show real quick. I mentioned a giveaway of the Ferrari by Logic 3 S100 headphones. Now, I have picked a winner. Thank you so much for everyone who entered, by the way. There's so many of you. It's hard. Sometimes you lose touch with just how many people actually watch the show, and it's amazing. So thank you everyone who entered. Marissa, you've won. I'm going to contact you and we'll have to get your address so I can send them out to you and so on. But you know, your answer was just exactly what I was kind of thinking of. You shared your love for cars, you shared your love for the show, and you just definitely sound like someone who's going to get a lot of benefit from these headphones. I hope you do. Anyway, everyone else, don't worry, there'll be more competitions later, I guarantee it. I'm already talking to some people about a potential giveaway which is much bigger than a pair of headphones, so stay tuned for that one anyway. First thing I want to talk about was something which Nokia has decided to kick off, and it's To Insta with Love. It's an app which they've put in the Windows Phone App Store for Nokia devices only, and what it allows you to do is to take pictures, add a filter and so on, and then share it with that hashtag. Now what they're trying to do is generate enough interest for Instagram themselves to create an app for Windows Phone, but probably particularly for Nokia's. And it's really interesting because it's been one of my gripes with obviously Windows Phone, but also with BlackBerry. Neither of those platforms have got a Instagram app, and I think that it's desperate for them because it's one of the reasons why I couldn't become full-time with either of those platforms. So if it happens, it's kind of a huge nudge to BlackBerry, and what they need to do, they need to really be pushing harder to try and get Instagram's interest in producing something for them. Because obviously, you know, it requires some development hours and things like that to make it work. It's not just a simple click your fingers and it's done. But yeah, if you just watch the hashtag To Insta with Love, you'll sort of see all the pictures coming through, and there's actually quite a lot of people who are participating already. Now this week, there wasn't a huge amount of tech news, let's be honest straight up, but next week is one big thing happening, one really big thing happening, and it's Samsung. So Samsung will be announcing the Galaxy S4 in New York. It's going to be huge. I know I mentioned it last week, but there's so many rumors starting to come out, and they really come out thick and fast closer to the event. You know, things like octa-core processor built in, what the screen's going to be like, the sizes, the resolution, things like that. One of the things I wanted to mention, one of the rumors which has sort of come out the most, has been things around the smart options. Now, when Samsung release a phone, they don't just put plain Android on there. They always add their own little flair to it, their own little additions to it, the value add I like to call it. And in the past, I had things called Smart Stay, where you would stare at the phone and it would just stay on until you looked away because it knew that you were reading what was on screen, for example, which was really handy. They're now thinking that what's going to happen is there'll be things like Smart Pause. So if I'm watching a video and I look away because someone's distracting me, that the movie will just pause because it knows that I'm not looking at the screen anymore. Kind of cool. Another one is Smart Scrolling, which means that when I'm looking at this screen, it will automatically start to scroll up and down the web page. Or if I'm head down, it will start scrolling down, and head up, scrolling up. Really interesting, controlling your speed of that scroll as well. That sort of stuff is kind of freaky, but you know, it's obviously an option you can turn off and on anyway, but it'd be interesting to see how well it works. I thought Smart Stay was pretty good, but didn't always work, and I actually had concerns for other people whose eyes weren't as visible as my own perhaps, and they would have had issues, say if you're wearing glasses obviously. And anyway, I mentioned that in my review. If you haven't watched that review, you should check it out. It's pretty awesome. But anyway, we will be seeing more from Samsung next week, and obviously I'll be bringing news on that one as well. It's super exciting. And just on that as well, I'd love to know from you guys what you want in this smartphone. Say for example you're an iPhone user, what would it take for Samsung to bring out for you to really make that switch to Samsung? Or if you already have an S3, would you consider moving to the S4? Or is it something you're going to wait a version on? I want to know what you think, because obviously when I start hearing about it being announced, I start to think about what you guys want and see if they've actually ticked any of those boxes. So let me know. Something completely left field today. I'm laughing because it actually is funny because of what I'm about to tell you. So amazing. So a company called, what is the name of the company again? Uncharted Play. Uncharted Play have released this product on Kickstarter. Now what Kickstarter is, if you don't know, it's like a website you can go to try and pledge for money. So you've got an idea or a concept, but you need some more money to help it make it happen or get into production. So Uncharted Play have released this product called the Soccket. Now, Soccket, S-O-C-C-K-E-T. Now, what it is, it's actually a soccer ball. A soccer ball which has a plug, and the soccer ball can actually generate power. So with, I think, 30 minutes of play, you could plug an LED lamp into the socket and get 3 hours of light. Now that's incredible. What basically it is the ball has this, I read it's like a pendulum inside, and every time you kick it, bounce it and things like that, it's just generating charge, and it's storing that charge for later use. Now they say that the ball itself isn't really impacted, get it, at all, because it can handle kicks and things like that without a problem while not damaging what's on the inside, and it still feels like much of a soccer ball. Now the biggest benefits, obviously, are like, well, why would I want a soccer ball with a light? Well, you think about third world countries, right? So third world countries, they don't have a lot. Literally, like they don't even have shoes in most cases. And for those people, they still play soccer. I've seen the videos where like people in Zimbabwe, they've got like a straw hut, no shoes, no internet, no YouTube, and they run around and they still kick a ball. And if you give them a ball like this, they're gonna still play. They're just gonna have a lot of fun. But at the same time, at night time, they'll have light. And I think that's just incredible. Now you can actually buy one for yourself. You can pledge, I think it's $100. And when it does get produced, it'll be delivered to your door, and you'll be able to give it to your kids, or you can go run around in the backyard, generate power, and then actually use it. And that's wow, you know, like that's really incredible. They're also talking about if they way exceed their target, they've got other plans for things like a USB socket so you could charge your iPhone. An actual power meter so you could see how much you've charged it over your usage period as well. And it's a great idea. I mean, one of the things I looked at, I'm like, okay, I pay $100, you're gonna send me one. Well, I don't need one, I've got lights, I've got too many lights actually. Why wouldn't it be pledge $100 and we'll send one to Zimbabwe for you? That's what I would have thought they would do. But I think it's just getting the awareness out. Obviously, I'm talking to you about it. You should hopefully share this video around because people should know about this product. And I would like to think that companies like Oxfam and World Vision and stuff like that, around Christmas time, will allow you to buy this ball and give it to a poor child in one of those third world countries. Very, very interesting. Check it out. It's on Kickstarter. I'll obviously put the link in the description. And obviously, just to mention, all of the links and everything I talk about, they're always in the description. So you don't have to like try and remember what I said and Google it. Just look down there. You'll find it. You shouldn't scull coffee. It gets to your head, you start sweating and things like that. Now, these aren't real. I thought it was funny. Now, next week we have the S4 launch, but I'm actually going to be in Melbourne. So I'm flying down to Melbourne for the Formula 1 Grand Prix. If you don't know, I'm a huge Ferrari fan. Formula 1 is pretty much my the biggest part of my life compared to this and other things. So anyway, it's a big deal for me, right? So I'll be going down for the Grand Prix with all my Ferrari gear, getting really excited. One of the things I'll be looking out for is the BlackBerry sponsorship on the Mercedes car this year. That's kind of cool to see. There's a lot going on. Now, the reason I'm telling you this is because the S4 launch happens while I'm in Melbourne. Now, when I go to Melbourne, it's usually a bit of a bender. Things get a little bit out of hand. So my S4 video could be brief. It's probably going to be done on my phone. No fancy green screen or anything like that. So I'll be tweeting about it. I'll be probably video blogging about it. You just have to keep in touch with me. So tweet me, Facebook me, and we'll keep in touch. Thanks so much for watching. Marissa, congratulations. I'll be in contact with you. Everybody else, feel free to contact me anytime and stay tuned for the next giveaway, which is coming. See you guys. Bye.